Hey guys, in today's video, I will be giving you 9 IELTS listening tips that will help you score a high band in your IELTS listening section. So if this is something you'd like to learn about, then please continue watching. For those of you who don't know already and are wondering who I am, my name is Miss Wafa and I am a certified English teacher in Canada. I've been coaching students for the IELTS exam for the past 7 years. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel and comment down below as I put out content every Friday to help you in your IELTS journey. Also, please check out my website at eslwords.com where I have provided lots of great visuals and tips and tricks to help you in your IELTS exam. So let's get right into the video. So first, I am going to give you a brief overview of all the different 4 parts in the IELTS exam, in the IELTS listening section in particular, and then we will be discussing tips for all the different parts and explain how your IELTS listening score is calculated. So something to start off with is just a quick reminder for those of you who don't know. Between section 1 and section 4, the level of difficulty is a lot easier in section 1 in comparison to section 4. So it does get difficult between each section. And before you listen to the recording, I highly recommend that you quickly look for keywords in the question that will help you identify the answer in the recording. Some keywords that you could look for is maybe a name, a place, a person's location, an address, maybe a date. These are very quick keywords that you can identify in the question. So some part 1 listening tips I have for you is that you should really take some time to familiarize yourself with the different English accents, such as British, Canadian, American, Australian, because you don't know what type of accent the person will have in the recording. So take advantage of every second. You have to review the questions, and as I mentioned, you should highlight the keywords that stand out the most, so then you know what to listen for when the audio is being played. So in the IELTS listening section 2, you will hear one person speaking in the recording about a particular matter, and try to stay concentrated because the recordings will only be played once. So you want to make sure at this point, you're not still working on section 1. You better move on to section 2 because you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the questions that you are looking for. Then you should write your answers directly near the questions during the recording. You have no time to put them on the answer sheet. Don't worry about putting them on the answer sheet at this point because you will get time for that at the end. So some tips I have for you about the section 2 is to double check the word count that the question is asking you. So when you get your questions, some of the questions have a word count. They say your answer for each question could be no more than 2 words. If that's what it says, make sure that you follow those rules, because if you write 3 words, you will get it wrong. And if you are writing the answer for a fill in the blank type of question, then just make sure you include the article and preposition to complete this sentence. So for example, if the answer is after work, if the question is after work, we will go to blank, and the answer is movies, you shouldn't just say movies. You should say after work, we will go to the movies. Because remember, this is an English test. It needs to make sense. And you want to make sure you include those articles and prepositions in your answer. So here we go with section 3 now. Section 3 will be a bit more challenging than section 2. The reason why is because you will hear a recording that takes place in an academic type setting, and the discussion will be between up to 3 to 4 people. So during the conversation, it may be about a few classmates discussing a project they have in school or discussing a course they are taking. And remember that it is important that you are able to identify the different voices between the 3 to 4 people who are talking, because this is a question you may need to answer. So let's take a look at some tips that I have for you for section 3. You need to pay attention to unfamiliar vocabulary, especially because it is an academic setting. There may be some words that you don't understand, but that's okay. You can always guess the answer if you are not familiar with a particular vocabulary word. And as I mentioned, this is probably the most challenging section. So just remember once again to highlight keywords or phrases from the question that will be easier to listen for during the recording. Last but not least, guys, consider the synonym language that may be used in the recording that may reflect the questions that you are asked. So section 4, you will hear one person talking about an academic related lecture. This can most likely be a professor, someone who works in the school setting. And since the level of difficulty goes up between the different parts, this will be the most challenging. And some tips I have for you for section 4 is do not, especially because this is the last part of the 4 sections, don't try to start transferring your answers because it's the last recording. Don't worry, you'll be given time to transfer your answers at the end. You need to stay concentrated and try to answer your questions. And guess the answer if you don't know. I think guessing is a great opportunity for you to even try to get a correct answer. Whereas if you leave it blank, you have no opportunity to get a right answer. Last but not least, if you get a table question, try to identify keywords such as a date or a name to make it easy for you to listen in the answer. So guys, this is the video I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed all the 9 IELTS listening tips that I provided for you. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know of any questions you may have. Comment section down below. And also please subscribe to my channel and check out my website at eslwords.com, where I have written lots of other great articles that will help you in your IELTS journey.